I know I need to come up with a new intro, but I haven't had time. There you go. Welcome to the show.
Hey, what do you know?
Who do we got in here? Who do we got in here first thing, Bart?
Well, Derek's here saying it was almost time for the show, but that was before it was time for the show.
Uh-oh.
And,
Yep.
Garden nerds, sup nerds.
Sup?
Garden
In the chat, but we got more people. I can see it on my screen here. We got some people that haven't said hello yet in the chat. So
Netreg
let's see.
live.
Mr. Livewire
And-
says,
yep, Mr.
Alfred,
Livewire.
hey, what's up, Livewire? Oh, and here we go.
Kelly.
Greetings from the Netherlands,
wow.
Netreg Live. That is someone new that I have met on my channel, and he has since joined our Discord channel, and he said hello to everybody in there. He's over there in the Netherlands, checking us out
Nice.
at 1 o'clock in the morning his time.
Wow.
So yeah, that's some
Wow.
dedication right there. Kelly says she's here.
Oh, Kelly.
Livewire says hey to Poe. Livewire says hey to Gaming Road Warrior Mike. And Livewire
Gaming
says,
Road Warrior.
Livewire says screw Greg by saying hi. He might be in the process, but I'm not putting it up. We're just leaving it as if he said no. I'm not gonna say hi. But yeah, so Livewire says saying hi to everyone. Kelly's waving to everyone. Yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
Mr. Livewire, not to give anything away, but I'll tell you what, he's kicking some butt on the tournaments right now. So when we get into the tournaments, you'll see Mr. Livewire is faring very well.
Nice.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he's
playing
going to
against
win
us.
that. Yeah. He's going to win that copy of Toilet Simulator, right? We'll
Yeah.
give that out to him. It's a good game.
For 29 cents. You get the 29
Yeah, 27 cents.
The plunger episode. Derek says Livewire is the man. He is.
Yep. He's
Certainly
good.
compared to this group. But yeah, which one is that? Is that the current one that's going? Greg, is that what you're talking about?
Well, the one that just ended. It
Yeah.
just,
What table was that?
That was Shaman.
Shaman.
Oh.
That's
Oh,
right.
Shaman.
Shaman.
Okay.
I forgot. I didn't play. Darn it.
Well, let's see. If just to give you a little hint, let me get back to my. I closed some stuff down here, just to give you a hint. If anybody wants a quick hint about this week's game. There you go. And I know that's my video card. I got to switch them out. I can't believe this video card cost half of what that one did. It's a little bitty thing, and it'll work. And I've switched it out and tried some troubleshooting, and I don't know if you can see that horrible. Now see, that's what's so funny. It's starting to do that down at the bottom of the screen. And of all things, that little crappy, what was that, rock and roll racing game?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's not high-end graphics. And it was tearing that one up. And then I can play some pinball and it works, some it doesn't. So I'm going to switch it out with this card. That was like a $70 card. I think I got this one off of Amazon. Well, you ordered one too, Bart. What did we get for these? $19? $29?
Yeah, they were pretty cheap. Yeah, something like that, around $20.
Yeah, so I'm going to order a bunch of these, I guess. But I don't know. There you go. Hey, I want to say something real quick. I want to get straight into some business here. I found something, and it's on a Discord. That's what I was getting ready to do when I closed this window. There's another Discord out there, if I can, and a website. Pinball tournaments. I'll have to look it up, but it's pretty cool. In real pinball, there's the IFPA, International Federation of Pinball Association or something, and they rank you. Like Bart, when we went down to Solid State and played in that tournament, they enter your name into that tournament, and you can get ranked nationally. Of course, I don't go that often. We're not that good. We're way down at the bottom somewhere. But this guy's doing the same thing with digital pinball, and he just started. He's down in New Zealand, I think, is where he's at. But it's worth checking out because he's got tournaments that he runs
Oh, wow.
on Pinball FX, and there's no password needed. And it's kind of cool, but everybody needs to check out this website. I'm going to get it for you here.
You know, Greg, it's funny that we did that tournament that you're talking about when we came up there to visit you. And yeah, they put us on that national ranking thing. I'm pretty sure for mine, they had to add lines at the bottom because they didn't have numbers that low for my position. The janitor, when he cleaned the toilet and he flushed it, he got a higher score than I got in that tournament. That was, but the only live real pinball tournament I've ever played, and I played some of the worst pinball I ever played in my life. It was good. It was good. I just wanted to get bumped out quickly so you could go around and play all the random games. That's why I wanted.
Yeah, well, it's true. The minute you got knocked out, you got to have more fun. Actually, you know, I haven't been down to one since you were here in September, and I need to get down there mainly because I need to buy some pinballs. It's time to replace the ones in the. It's the only place I can go locally and buy them. I mean, I can order them online, but I don't know. I just like buying local. But yeah, it's called digitalpinballleague.com. That's all spelled out together except for the .com. So it's digital, digitalpinballleague.com. And it's his website. And he featured, like right now, Indiana Jones is playing through tomorrow. And he gives you the code to find it. And it's unlimited play, and it's open to anybody. And I don't know if you can see it here, but there's the guy's little graphic. And I lost the screen for using tonight, so I can't bring that up on the screen. So check out digitalpinballleague.com. It's kind of interesting, and he's got a great ranking system. And the other thing I was going to tell you is there's also a Discord that's doing the same thing, and they feature his. You can find out his stuff on this Discord, but they also run a whole bunch of tournaments. They'll run the same table on FX3 and on FX, and they'll give you the codes for both and how to find them. So you can play on one or the other and still get ranked. They throw it all in together. And it's called Cons Gang, CONSGANG. So you might look for that on Discord, Cons Gang. And it's a huge Discord. I haven't even got through all the little. He's got more than just pinball on there. But if you go to his calendar, he'll show you. Well, I'll just give you a quick example. He's got one. He's got 3 tournaments going on. No, 2 tournaments going on. One of them is Star Wars: A New Hope and Attack from Mars. And then on his advertisement, he shows Digital Pinball League's Indiana Jones. So he's got all those there with all the codes and a way to find them. So it's kind of a cool place if you're into pinball and want to see how you're doing. And it's so new. Bart and I were talking about this in a chat. I think there was only 38 people playing in that Indiana Jones one, I think, when I started.
Wow. I need to jump in. Top 50.
Yeah, in the top 50. I forget if it was that or the Star Wars one. I forget which one. But the Star Wars you only find on the Cons Gang Discord. But anything pinball, you know me, I love to go after it. So that's my little input for tonight, other than the regular rigmarole. So I see Derek says that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
So
One last time, Greg. What was the name of that site?
okay, the site is digitalpinballleague.com. All run together. Digitalpinballleague.com.
So is there 3 L's in there? Pinball League.
Yeah, that would be that would be correct.
Like that? Did I type? Oh, you can't see the chat, can you?
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I brought it up. Digital Pinball League. Yes, that's it. That should take it. Somebody check that out. Go there and see if it works.
Yeah.
And then the Discord is Cons Gang. And I wish I could. You know what? I think I can do that. Somebody else, bring up another subject, and I'll get the invite to the Cons Gang in the chat. I'll just use my phone to do it. I lost the screen. I can do that.
Sounds good. So what do you got going on, Mike? Anything exciting?
Well, pretty much. I was prior to the show, I was trying to play an Atari 2600 game that was easy for me. Initially, when I recorded off OBS, it didn't record. So, and of course, when you figured out, like, okay, I'm ready to play, and then, yeah, the game just kicks your butt all over the place, and here I am, using colorful metaphors on the game, which I don't usually do. It's just like, why is this game so hard? But yeah, that's what I was doing prior to getting on the shows, trying to play that game so I would have a video for you guys. But I'll do it later when I'm done. So,
Mike,
and then also, go ahead, Bart.
I was just gonna say, was your inner sailor coming out? Just
yeah. Yeah, I had to put a cap on that.
With...
I had to put a cap on that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't even had a beer yet, so that's what made me even more cranky. I should have been drinking a beer while playing the game. But yeah, and besides that, I know for a lot of people, I'm not going to be able to put a video out here soon because I've been busy. For those of you that don't know, my godfather asked me for help with doing the slideshow for my godmother that had recently passed away, and her funeral service starts this coming Saturday, so I've been busy with that. So after I get done with that, I'll be working on my video, because right now that takes precedence over my YouTube video.
Absolutely.
So I hope people understand, family, especially if they ask for help, you need to focus on that and YouTube. So that's what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
I know this is usually your job, Bart, but I'm going to put this up here. Just put that up there real quick. There is the, I hope that's the right one. I have trouble with this Discord sometimes, but that should be the invite link to that Discord I was talking about. So, Cons Gang. So, if anybody's interested, there you go. There you go. Okay. Go ahead. I'm sorry. We'll go back to you, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was it. Yeah, just doing the slideshow. And also I had like a bunch of photos he had given me. So I'm trying to trim them down to fit. So that way when things are done, I can upload it to my video editor, because he wants music playing in the background as well for the funeral service. So that's what I've been doing as of lately. Yeah.
Well, sorry for your loss, but I understand you got things you got to do.
And I went ahead and copied that Discord link and put it in this chat, so it'll go to all 4 of our channels in case you're watching it on another channel and you wanted to try to get it. So it's out there again. Yeah, Derek says he's been seeing Donkey Kong arcades for sale all over his area, and made him think of you, Mike.
Yeah, so, I just saw that. I just responded back to him.
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that maybe Derek's doing his Christmas shopping for us all, and he's going to get us all Donkey Kong machines. That's really cool, Derek.
Thanks, Derek.
Really awesome.
Thanks, Derek. I could use a second one. NetRig Live. Oh, thank you. Yeah. Well, yeah. That happens, but it sucks too, because I lost my mom already. We just visited her grave just today prior to coming on the show. And, that's the purpose of a godmother. If you lose your mom, then they fall in place, and that kind of sucks. And she's gone, so, yeah. But like I said, at least I have my godfather, and I'm going to help him out on that. But, yeah, thank you anyway, NetReg. Appreciate that.
Yeah, tough times.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I want to jump in here, and let's, you had it, were you done with that, Mike, or is it all right? I jump in here.
I'm good.
Do you have more to talk about?
No, that was it.
Trying to be a little courteous for with NetReg, because I know it's way early in the morning for him, and I don't know how long he's going to be able to stay. And sometimes we can ramble for like an hour before. So I just wanted to get the one thing I wanted to talk about tonight. I've been doing a lot of that American Truck Simulator, and the only thing I really have to say about they got a new 1.42 up, or 1.48 update, and Tuesday, August 1st, 2023, Oklahoma DLC is coming out. So a new state is being released for American Truck Simulator. So that's kind of big news. Everyone in the truck sim world is getting excited about another new state. And they say Kansas is going to be next, and it looks like Nebraska will be after that. It looks like they're just moving up that little segment. So I'm guessing then the Dakotas will be coming after that. But they've announced, this one, Oklahoma's coming out this week. They're saying probably Kansas is going to be November, December-ish, and then early in next year for Nebraska. And I'm just speculating. It looks like the pattern is moving north. But so I'm pretty excited because I haven't even bought Texas yet because, like an idiot, I didn't buy all the states while they were on sale. And but some people say when they release a new DLC, like they're releasing Oklahoma, sometimes they'll put the other states on sale, because they figure people are kind of popping to the site because of a new one, and maybe they can get some sales. So I'm going to see. But either way, on Tuesday when they come out, I'll be buying Texas and Oklahoma because
they don't have Missouri yet. They don't have Missouri yet.
Not yet. I live in Texas. I didn't even buy Texas yet, but
never before has anybody ever been excited about Oklahoma before.
Oklahoma, right? Yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah,
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma,
Well,
Nebraska, they're getting more. Yeah.
I did want to ask when you brought up Oklahoma, what does a tornado and a divorce in Oklahoma have in common?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Somebody's losing a mobile home.
Hey Bart, I wanted to ask you a question on the truck simulator game. Did you see on Steam they actually have European or whatever truck simulator where you can drive through Europe and buy trucks over there? Yeah. I saw
Euro
cool.
Truck Simulator 2. They've done an update on that one, so it has a second version out. I've never played it, the Euro Truck Simulator. It looks pretty cool. I'll probably don't worry, I'm staying till the end and call me Gideon. He needs to get Texas, Oklahoma, Montana looking for that sale. But
wow.
Yeah, Euro Truck Simulator. And I was actually just watching a pretty funny video today. Some guy put together the difference between American truck sim drivers and Euro Truck Sim drivers. He's like, go easy on me. It's a joke. And he was just showing the difference on how Americans drive and Europeans drive, basically. And it was pretty funny. But at some point when I get far enough along in American Truck Sim and I feel like it's time, I will be getting that Euro Truck Sim. And I don't know. I don't think it was on sale with this big sale, but it could have been. I saw American Truck for $5. I bought it without even thinking, and I never looked back.
I wish I'd have bought it, and because I've enjoyed watching you do it. The only thing that kept me from it is I've been investing in the stuff for my flight yoke and my stuff for my flights. But correct me, and I'll repeat this again tonight to these people that are watching. You can use American. Didn't you say there were some guys that say that they do nothing but use an Xbox controller for American Truck Simulator and love it?
Yeah, there are. And on the matter of fact, I was reading on Reddit today. It was yesterday. There are people that still drive with the keyboard. They're using the WSA and D, and they're driving with keyboard. And they're using their mouse to look around, and they're driving all over the place, having a great time. But yeah, people will. I saw people on Reddit that said they were driving for years using an Xbox controller and just loving the game. Of course, then eventually they'll get a steering wheel and pedals, and they'll be like, "Oh my gosh, this just changed." But they, you don't have to. Let's see.
I knew I flew until I got the yoke and stuff with this Xbox controller, and I will tell you. I thought, oh, this is great. And then when I bought, you turned me on to that flight yoke. I said exactly what you said. Oh, my God. What am I missing?
Yeah. And, of course, the first trip I did on my American Truck Simulator, I drove with my flight yoke and pedals. I used the rudder pedals as gas and brake, and I was steering with the yoke. And it worked great. It's not like it's you just don't push in and pull out with the flight yoke. But yeah,
Livewire is saying that he played it on his team deck.
Yeah, I see that.
Oh, cool.
But to get to your question, Mike, Gideon, he played Euro Truck Simulator 2. You hop more through cities in different countries, waiting for that Western Balkan DLC. That's supposed to be coming out soon too. And he's got almost all the DLCs on that game, which doesn't surprise me. He's over there. He would start with Euro, I would think, and I'm over here, so I started with American. But the Euro Truck Simulator does look very enticing to me to travel. And it's funny, Kelly and I used to do a lot of road trips when we did our geocaching. We went all over the country doing, and I do all my videos, and then we watch them together, and she's like, this is almost like we're doing road trips again, that we don't have the opportunity to do as much now. And she says, I'm just loving this, driving all around. And I did all those videos in Colorado, and we drove every part of Colorado when we lived there. And she's like, this is so cool going on these road trips again. So
I have to say, for me, I told you in each of your videos, my long drive to work, I listen to you. I wait usually about 10 minutes into my drive in the morning. Then I'll click on your videos and start listening. That usually lasts me right till I pull in at work. And it's almost like you're on a road trip with somebody, listening to you bullshit while I'm driving in the morning and then hearing the sounds of the truck and stuff. It's almost like you're driving someplace with somebody and they're just talking to you while you drive. So it's kind of, for me, it's cooler than listening to the radio or some radio show or the same songs over and over again. It's just like you're driving somewhere with somebody and they're talking to you while you're driving. So to me, it's entertainment, but at the same time, I'm kind of missing out on the scenery unless I'm at a stoplight and you're like, hey, look at this. I'm like, okay, what are we looking at here? You know?
Yeah.
But it's really
remember
cool.
when he was talking about the Baconator? You're probably like, you want to look at it?
He'll go da-da-da-da-da, or he'll say, there's Taco Bell. I'm like, oh, they put a new Taco Bell in. Where the hell's it at? You know, oh, it's not over there.
Yeah, I'm still waiting to get a text in our text chat that the four of us have where Poe's like, oh, yeah, thanks a lot. I heard you say, what the heck just happened? I flipped my truck. And then he'll be like, and then I crashed into a freaking parked car. So I try to tone stuff down because I know Poe watches while he's driving. And I don't want to. If old Poe was with you, I'd point out those strip malls more often and get him all excited. But that's what I'll just randomly, one of these, I'll be driving, I'll look, a naked lady. And then I'll see what Poe puts in his chat. Oh my gosh. I flat spotted my tires because I nailed the brakes.
I just looked on Steam just because I was curious. It's $19.99 right now, which really isn't bad. It would have been better at $5. But they also you can download a demo for free and try it. So that's kind of neat. And then they've got.
It's worth the full price. I mean, Jesus, I'm playing the crap out of this thing already. I've had it for like 2 weeks. I made 47 videos, I think. But I'm just having a blast with it. And I bought 48. A new 48. I got this. Yeah. 48. I got this old steering wheel that I've had for 15 years, force feedback wheel, and it works great. But I bought a new wheel. It'll be here. That's a spoiler. I haven't really announced it on my channel when I'm driving. I just hinted. I said, Mo, I'd love to get a new wheel, but I already ordered it. It'll be here Thursday. And it's just, man, I'm having so much fun. And I just got a notification. And I don't know how to check it here. Our good buddy Gideon, that's here in the chat. He is a nice guy. He purchased me a couple of DLCs for it, some trailer packs, and able to tow different stuff. And I think I just got a notification from Steam. So I don't know what that was, but
the toilet simulator.
Yeah. Kelly,
I paid Steam for them to come repo your truck while you were on here just now. That's a new mod.
That could be it.
So your truck's gone when you go in there this morning.
Yeah, Kelly wanted me to do an unboxing video. Like I have the patience to shoot, set up to shoot a video. My unboxing video will be, look, I got a new wheel. Let's go drive.
I want it to be like Christmas morning in your tent. I want footed PJs on and you running into the room, all excited.
Yeah. But my luck, the way freaking Amazon delivers here, I'll probably get it a week from Thursday. And so it was already a whole week. And oh geez, I wasn't able to check Steam. Gideon says I don't have to buy Texas anymore. Thank you. Oh. You didn't have to do that. I appreciate it. Now I'm buying Oklahoma on Tuesday because I don't have to buy Texas anymore.
Nice.
Cool. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, it seems to be going over well. People seem to like my videos over there. I think they just like watching some idiot in Texas that doesn't really know what he's doing and makes weird comments like you said, random did it. I'm just, you never know. I don't know what I'm going to say when I start saying it, and I think people like that maybe because it's just
anybody in Mr. Post Office chat. Are you listening? Are you paying attention there? A couple new games coming out for the PS5. I don't hear any coming from my phone right now.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of people, they say you say weird things in the video. I just got if I can find it. Chaos, are you tongue out, hand pink waving? I don't
know. Oh, I guess, yeah, there you go. Tongue out, hand pink waving.
I
don't know. I don't know if an old post says he's going to wave something pink at you. You don't want to look at him.
It's quick at this point, but you get the idea.
But it sounds to me like though I'll tell you what, the simulation thing. Now, I just got some questions to kind of spur some conversation about it. You can play that in 2D. Can you play that with your VR headset as well?
I can, and it's kind of like flying, where it's really cool to play in the VR. But I'm stressing my system especially to try to record, because as soon as you put in the VR, you got two screens going at once, and then I'm trying to record and all that. So I have to really dumb down the settings, and it just looks better both live and on the recording when I play in 2D. And
my PC seems to be. My PC seems to handle it okay. My biggest complaint is I always screw. You showed me some interesting stuff on video stabilization and getting the mirror screen going, but I get the plane. It takes a while to load that flight, and I have the volume set to the wrong place on OBS to pick up the plane. You got to set it to the headset, its output, and it is nice because when you're flying, you can look out the window, and you can give your viewers a good view of what's going on without having to use that button. But my goodness, if I just kind of come down and do a quick flight and record it, especially, I've been doing them in 2D. Now, if I'm just doing it for my own enjoyment, I'll strap that on, but I don't have to run I think I'm saying the same thing as you. The difference is yours is running stress on your resources. Mine's running stress on me and your computer resources. This old man's resources. I have a hell of a time getting that son of a gun to run.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I just need to I can set the settings higher when I'm playing flat screen, so it looks better and plays smoother and gets a smoother record. It looked fine the first 5 or 6 videos I did. I think I was in VR. And hey, Possum Grits, good to see you, buddy. But
hello.
There is something to be said for sitting there and just, you want to check your mirrors. You check your mirrors. You just turn your head. When you come up to a stop sign, instead of having to use buttons or use the mouse to scroll over, I just look over, make sure no one's coming, and pull out more naturally. It's a lot easy, pulling out more naturally. I'm talking about pulling the truck out into traffic.
Oh, if there was a way to give you money in game, I would donate that just to watch you one day go ape shit and just start sideswiping everybody in traffic and taking things out, because that would make for a really cool video.
Yeah,
I drove my airplane down city streets one day, folks.
Right.
sometimes I'm sideswiping people not on purpose. I don't know if you
A
saw
lot of
that.
times it's dudes hitting you though, and that's just bullshit. I would just go nuts and just take people out. That's just me. And I know Derek's looking for that. Derek a lot of times says it in the comments. It's a good time to run people over. And
Yeah. Did you see that one where that truck sideswiped me? I backed that up when I was watching the replay because I'm like, I was 3/4 of the way in that lane when that fucker. That sucked. Derek's telling me to crash people all the time. I'm trying to drive. I had to pay for that truck. I'd have to do one of those side missions so I can trash someone else's truck. Make a new profile and call it Bumper Car Joe or something. I don't know.
You know when I'm flying, it's the same thing you're talking about, pulling out of traffic. When I'm flying, it seems like landing is easier with the VR headset on because I can look at my gauges, I can look back up, instead of having to use that mouse and then recenter yourself. And I tried something the other day, landing in a tail dragger, which you can't see the runway when it's on the ground. But see, in the VR headset, you can just look out the window real quick and glance back, keep yourself level instead of having to use all these buttons. And I could see where I was at in relation to the ground. So there is some big advantages.
Now, Greg, when you looked out the window, have you ever seen Derek on the wing, like getting closer?
He's a wing walker. He's been one of my.
There's a Derek on the wing.
To show you how realistic, and I need to do this in a video sometime to show you how it works, but you have your Oculus set up for sitting mode, stationary mode. I was flying one day and I had my headset on and I just needed to stretch my legs. I stood up and my head went straight through the top of the plane. I was looking at the top of the wing. I was like, well, this is cool as hell. And I'd lean the plane. I'd go. So I just stood there flying for a while with my.
I was just going to say, Greg, we all know when you pull out in traffic, that's when you're in your Cessna on the ground, you're pulling out in the
Hey, this might be a good segue, though. I did put together a video for tonight. If anybody minds, it's a little, I haven't even told you guys what it's about, but it's a little 5-minute video. If a good segue to go into simulation, a little quick one. You guys good with it?
Yeah. Can I really quick, though, Greg, before we move on, because this is relevant. Gideon said, instead of using VR, isn't Track IR a good replacement device for trucking and for flight sim? I used to use an IR tracker, head tracker, and you just turn your head a little bit and it pans, so you don't have to use a button. It is a good thing to use, but you run into the problem if you turn your head too far, you're side eyeing, and it's hard to see the screen. Where in VR, it goes with. So it's not quite as good as real VR. But it does work well, and I used it before, and it's pretty interesting. And Possum Grits had a question also about VR. He never considered it, racing in VR. He's not familiar. What would you recommend for someone new to it? Really, one of the easiest things is the Quest 2. You can get a Quest 2. You can Airlink. You don't even need any cables, or you can use USB-C cable. You can play games. And of course, you can play games right in the headset that are native. But that's the easiest way right now is to get a Quest 2, and you can jump in and play. You can play VR.
Most economical way to do it.
Yeah. It's cheap, relatively cheap and easy. There are nicer headsets that you can spend $1,000, $1,500 for, $3,000 for that Apple one. But that's the quick and easy. But I just didn't want to move on before we got to those people's questions because they were relevant.
I want to say this too. You can watch. There's some other YouTubers out there. There's one. Bart sent me a link to a guy he's got 3 massive screens, and he's bought all the instruments, like real instruments, on a plane. And I mean, when you're sitting, this guy must have thousands in this setup. But he's got
Did you see the truck sim guy I sent out the other day?
Well,
you've seen it before. He has a freaking cigarette lighter on his dash. He pushed it in and he pushed it out and lit a cigarette, old school cigarette lighter on his simulator dash.
He's got a passenger seat next to him. He's got 2 big old trucking seats in there. You can go sit right along with him.
I would like to see Bart do a whole adventure one day of him driving the truck down the road and saying, I'm going to stop at a rest stop, and then him go into FX Pinball. He's at the truck stop. He's playing pinball. Maybe he gets lippy with somebody, so then we go into a fighter game like Virtual Fighter where he's beating the shit out of the guy. And then, and then maybe he's got a hooker or something. Sorry, Kelly, I didn't say that. Then back in the truck and he's driving down the road again.
Yeah, but let's not forget he can get something to eat while he's in there, and then he can go over to Mike's and get in the shithouse simulator.
Yep. I got the outhouse.
I call it shithouse. It's outhouse.
You might find the hooker in that outhouse when you go in there later. Might be careful.
Name's Wendy. Wendy, go.
Wendy.
Well, this is just a quick video. It doesn't last long, and I'm going to go ahead and run it. And just a flight sim video that I tried, and we'll see how well I do. Okay, I thought I'd try a little something different. Just something to show you here tonight on the show. Myself and Off Grid Arcade have been doing a lot of X-Plane 11. Flying our airplanes around all over, and I saw this. I've seen it since the beginning, since I got it. I've never tried it, and that's this space shuttle. Just show you, we are on the space shuttle. Right there is, I believe, Edwards Air Force Base, and if we look out there, that is where I want to set this thing down. And I just find it unbelievable that astronauts can land this thing on a little speck on the ground from coming from outer space. So I'm going to be lucky if I even come anywhere close to this runway. But they have numerous choices you can make and in the program, and you can start from everything from re-entry down to a long approach, a final approach. I set final approach, the easiest one. And I'm just hoping I don't over or undershoot this runway. Let me take a look out here and see if I can figure out where we're even at in comparison to that. Real quiet. Nothing but glide. I'm not even sure about the instruments, the altimeter and all that. I'm sure that that is my descent rate over there and my airspeed, I'm believing. I do know one thing. I got to put my gear down before I land this thing. And I'm going to do that now. We just got a little bitty window to look out of the front there. Wow. Okay, I must have bounced. I can't believe I made it to the strip. Oh, I had that nose up way too high. Oh, see, since you're not taking off, I had no perspective of what this thing would look like when it's level on the ground. There it is, the nose down. Wow. Okay, let's take a look at it from the outside. Okay, here we are taking a look at it from the outside. Let's see how I do with this $1 billion. I believe it's over $1 billion piece of aircraft. I don't think I did too bad. I did bounce it because it started giving me the countdown. It said 10, and then I heard it hit, and then it said 10, so it must have bounced 10 foot off the ground. That's a lot of weight to be bouncing 10 foot off the ground. Yep, there's the bounce. And I saw a button in there that says deploy chutes, but I tried hitting it and it didn't work. So there you go. Space shuttle landing on X-Plane 11. Hope you enjoyed it. Just a little more fun with our simulations. Back to the show.
That was awesome.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Nice. I like the wheelie that you were doing.
Well, if you really watch the real one come in, I've watched some videos of it. It does stay nose up for a long time, but the two things you got to keep in mind is that's a small strip you're coming from way out, and I'd like to see. I want to try the re-entry one, but there's no going around like in a real airplane. I mean, your power is over; it's all gliding in. And since I didn't take off, I'd never seen what it looks like to be level out of the cockpit window. On a regular plane, you can say, okay, when I land, this is the picture I should see. And, because you're on the ground taking off, but I didn't know what to expect. But and then it started counting. It scared the crap out of me when it started saying 1,000, 500, 400. I thought, oh, God, where am I at? So, I don't know, it was fun. I thought you might enjoy that.
I was a little nervous when I saw how far you had to drop the nose. I was like, and then you said, let's see the outside. I'm like, oh man, did he do a tail strike? Because man, it was close, but it was good. Yeah. It was good.
Yeah, you're right. There was definitely a possibility of a tail strike.
There is actually a space shuttle sim by Activision for the Atari 2600 way back in the day. And they made an overlay for the entire console that goes over top of your Atari 2600, and it used the different knobs on the 2600 for the space shuttle panel. Even the black and white button, everything did something different on it. And I don't have it, but you use that overlay. It's hard to get the overlay because kids trashed it. It was a cardboard overlay. I think you can print one out. So maybe I'll have to get a hold of that thing one day, get the cartridge and maybe print one out and do a video on that one day. But pretty cool.
That's cool. I saw a guy one time that made a cardboard control panel anyway, fairly recently.
I'm actually printing out the front of this now, and there's some things I wish I'd have done different. But I mean, I did finally get the controller done.
Nice.
Now I got a plug in here because I can't believe it. I had one micro switch that wouldn't work. So
explain how you made that.
I see what you did there. That's some clever stuff. That's why we keep Poe around.
But I've got a front panel that I'm making for it. And then I think I'm going to leave the back open because if I glue this all together, I made a mistake of not making the top removable. I should have made it so there's little supports in here and screwed it on. Because if I seal up that back, I guess the only way to service it would be to break it.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
But a little, a little USB encoder and some buttons. I mean, I had the encoder left over from Pinball Machine because Amazon had, if you buy two, you got them cheaper than one, so I had an extra. And then $6 in buttons, and then the 3D printer. And I was even lazy. I didn't use two different color filaments. That's a silver marker.
Nice.
Oh,
Cool.
So.
You should see. That's much better than mine. I don't know if I can pan this over here. Look at mine. I don't even have sides or anything. I just did the faceplate and then fired a couple screws in my cheapo desk so it can't push back.
Nice.
That's how I do mine for Truck Sim. And then I have
nice.
my encoder board is actually part of my Flight Sim deck or dash. And I just ran wires from the one table to the other and plugged it into the same encoder. But so I can reach over the same button that'll set my altitude hold will like set the park and brake on the Truck Sim. But
I know if I had to do this all over again, I'd make a place to plug my USB cable in. I'd run this connection, cut a hole in the side, and mount this in here because it's a real pain to unplug it the way it is, but it's a pain to move it around with the cord on it. So it's I got to dig around in there to get it apart. But I don't know. I had fun with it, and hell, Bart, yours works. It looks good.
Yeah, and mine is easy also because all of this stuff is dedicated. I don't take any of it down. I don't use the desks for anything else. So this flight yoke stays here. The pedals stay underneath the flight yoke. The dash stays. It's hard mounted. It's physically screwed into the wall of the trailer. So is the desk for the steering wheel. All of that stuff is hard mounted, permanent, and I don't take it down. And so I don't have to worry about moving anything. So I didn't.
Yeah, I wish I could do that because the way I do it here is it's right here at this desk. And I have a drawer right here. The desktop is right here. And I pull this drawer out and I slip the things in that hold the flight yoke in. And then at first I was closing the desk up to it. And I said, why do that? When I leave the desk drawer open, my keyboard fits at a perfect angle right inside the desk. And then my mouse pad's here and that other controller is here. So I've got it's just perfect. But unfortunately, if I want to do anything else at the desk, I got to take it all down.
Yeah. Everything here. My problem is everything's super small. The yoke and throttle quadrant take up the whole desk space, and so my PC sits between the two controllers, and that's also my keyboard holder. It sits on top of the PC, and the mouse is beside the steering wheel. I have like this much room to move my mouse around. So it's not, some things are not ideal, but hey, it works. And I have a permanent setup. This chair that I'm sitting in, now I'm driving, now I'm flying. So everything is right here. So it's pretty cool.
So where's the setup for the train simulator setup when you get that? On the right? On the opposite end?
His truck is the train. Have you heard that horn on that thing?
That horn on that truck is pretty badass. It's total train mode. You see that one video? I went over the train and I honked the horn. I'm like, yeah, the people in town are blaming that guy for that one. But that they got that new train simulator, and it is VR enabled. What's it called? I cannot remember the name of it. But again, cheapo me looked at it. It's like $50 for the thing, and I was like, Truck Sim's $5. This one's $50. Let's go trucking. But at some point when that train sim comes on sale, I'll be getting that at some point because I'm a train fanatic also. So,
nice.
And these simulators are just addictive as crap. You know, you get in there and you do this stuff. Let's see. Gideon's looking for a good button panel for his trucking, but he's just looking at a pre-made panels. Yeah, they got some really neat panels for truck sim that have all the brake levers and knobs to pull out and switches.
I was just looking at those on Amazon the other day. They got the air brakes and everything on them. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do we have another visitor from the Netherlands?
It looks like it.
Yeah. Wow.
Wow.
Greetings from the Netherlands.
You know,
Well,
that's
greetings.
crazy because my coworker at the college, he's the instructor at he's a IT major. He's from the Netherlands. And we always
Really?
talk about Dutch brother clogs and that kind of stuff. But it's kind of funny. My first stepfather, he was his family was from the Netherlands. So yeah, I was kind of surrounded by that kind of culture. Like I'm looking at the wall, and like, what are these wooden shoes? Clogs, the windmills and stuff like that. Yeah, that's so funny.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, Poe, you can answer this question. Possum Grits asks, are there any VR multiplayer mech games?
Yeah, I did play that one on the Quest. What was that, last fall?
Yeah,
But I
something
played.
like that.
I played by myself. I can't remember the name of that game now. What the heck was that called?
I saw it too. It was on sale like a month ago. It was on sale on the Quest store.
I couldn't get my friends to get it, so I played by myself.
Yeah, I was gonna buy it so we could play it, and then I forget what happened. That you probably pissed me off again. So I said, "Well, screw that. I'm not playing with Poe."
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
To die, so I was like, I ain't playing with Poe. But no, that was native on the Quest, Awesome Grid. So if you do look into getting a Quest 2, it's on the Quest store. It runs natively, so there's no wires attached. You just play it.
I made a video on it last fall sometime. I can't remember when exactly that was.
Yeah.
So let's see that. So we've got two from the Netherlands. Michael.
Yeah, he just sold his windmill. So
Yeah. But I always scared of pronunciations in the family. Michael Vandenhalf. And then the other one that's from the Netherlands is Nutmeg Live. Is that right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Gideon is what we call him. That's So we got two from the Netherlands right now. We're worldwide right here. We're gonna have to get some bread.
Bread sponsor will be happy.
Well, hey,
Hungry.
before we get too far into the show, hey, the conversation's flowing good, but I've also got our pinball results. So you guys just tell me whenever you want me to bring those up, and I'll run the deal on the what's going on Pinball FX3 this week for the group. So.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
This is a short one. So, okay. Well, Here you go, everybody. This is what the results from every week. We run a Pinball FX3 tournament just for giggles. We're going to start a newer one this fall, the big tournament again. So, stay tuned. But right now, here's the results from last week's and the start of this week's FX3 tournament. Okay, it's tournament time again here on the show. FX3, Mr. Livewire, 1970 on Shaman, 28,766,333. First place goes to Mr. Livewire. Tony's Jorgren, 22,780,433. Some real great scores there. Off Grid came in third at 11,433,700. G.Parker, and I noticed that we are both playing on the Switch there, because my 4,698,500 came from the Switch. Then I played again on the cabinet, 3,530,200, and Derek came in sixth place at 1,505,433. So there you go. This week's tournament has just ended, and let's see what we're going to do for next week. Let's go over here and create a tournament.
Create tournament.
And let's pick a table. What are we going to pick this week? I really had to give that some thought ahead of time. You know what? I think we're gonna do a little Monster Bash. Let's do that again this time. Tournament, 5 days. Private tournament. Create and play. G.Parker. Okay. Create and play. Here we go. Monster Bash. Let's get it going. And you can see how I did when you joined the tournament. Back to the show. There you go.
Nice.
Like that.
You want to see that 13 billion point score? You better go get the tournament.
That's a good choice of game too, right? Monster Bash is a great table.
It's a fun table. I had a choice between Fishtails and Monster Bash.
Yeah.
Oh, why didn't you go for Fishtails?
Tesla.
They're almost equal. Michael's got the Star Wars pinball on the Switch. It's a pretty solid game. It is fun. The only problem with the Star Wars tables on the Switch is you can't play against people on Steam in Star Wars. So we tend to not do those. Sometimes Greg has been known to do tournaments where not everyone.
That's right. It's my tournament, and I'm picking the game.
Yeah. Michael was also looking into MS Flight Sim. Really awesome looking game simulator. It's really cool. Pretty high specs you need to run that flight sim. And it was on sale on the big Steam sale not that long ago too. It was $40, I think. So I almost bought it. But anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to Monster Bash.
I don't say bad things about stuff and we try not to do that on this show, but so it's not. I'm not saying anything bad about Microsoft Flight Sim, but I've talked to more and more people that say X-Plane 11 or X-Plane 12. Resources are bad on X-Plane 12 as well, but the X-Plane, I'm just really liking that. It seems like it's more of it's a company that's selling it and making money off of it, but there's a lot of community involvement in it. I mean, weren't those download packs for better scenery and stuff just the people made, Bart? And they were free?
Yeah, it's all community-based stuff. Most of that stuff is community-based. And there are people out there, there are arguments all over the place if you go on Reddit and all that stuff, but the general consensus is X-Plane flies more natural. Microsoft is prettier, but if you're looking for the realistic physics and the way the planes behave, especially if you get some of the different versions, that I got that rep version of the Baron, and it flies completely different than the default, and they say it's very realistic. I got the rep version of the Cessna also. They just have different handling characteristics. The Cessna is a little closer together with the default than the Baron was, but people say that X-Plane flies more realistic, and Microsoft is easier to fly, not quite as realistic, but the eye candy is beautiful. It looks awesome. I got to give them that. But
and I just got a message from X-Plane, and they did deposit the money in our account, Bart. So good job.
Excellent. Yeah.
We do not get paid by X-Plane. Or anybody.
Chaos did a tournament for Pasha. So
yes, I did play. I played it. I think I played it.
Look for Arcade Chaos's Pasha. Is it normal Arcade Chaos to get the login and probably not password protected, right?
Yeah. I played it. I found it.
Yeah.
Chaos. How's your garden, Chaos? My dad's cabbage is this big, Chaos. 16 1/4 pounds. That's one of them. His other one's almost as big. Huge freaking cabbage. Sorry.
Yeah, you got pumpkins growing on your fence.
Yeah, my boy has his pumpkins growing on the fence. That's that whole time.
You know, one Halloween, we threw a pumpkin over beside the house. We were going to set it out for the trash man. And then it was one of those years the weather was real weird, and it snowed right away. and it just disintegrated. And the next spring, I noticed something growing out of the ground, so I just made sure not to mow around it or anything. And I'll tell you what, that ran all along the side of the house, and I had the best crop of pumpkins I've ever had. And it was from a dead pumpkin I threw out in the yard into Halloween. Amazing. It was amazing.
Yeah, we've had them grow on the wrong side of the fence before, near the back alley. Just from that kind of thing. At the end of the year when they're rotted, you throw them out, you know. A lot of times the deer around here will come and eat them, you know, after October. You throw the old ones out and the deer will come take care of them for you. Same thing with tomatoes. You know, the birds will come and eat the old tomatoes and then they'll crap them out on the other side of the yard and you'll have tomato plants the next year. Bird crap tomatoes. Yummy.
Well, what else have we got going on, guys? We're on an hour right now, and I got time, but
yeah, Poe didn't really get a chance. Poe, did you have anything you wanted to talk about tonight?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't really do anything this week. I did some live stuff Tuesday, but I worked all week and didn't feel good most of the week. So that Popeye video, I still have it for the 5200. I still have it in pieces. I got to put it all together and edit it, and I just haven't got around to it. I promised it, I think, 3 weeks ago, and it's there. We'll get it together, and I haven't filmed anything else since. I said I went live twice on Tuesday, I think, and that was it. So this week we're supposed to work 5 days. We'll see what happens. Boss man comes to us. We have a meeting every morning, and he tells us what's what, and lately it's been like, all of a sudden we need you again. So we'll see. In a couple weeks I will be on vacation, but the first half of that week we're going to be up going to Erie. So three or 4 days. So there'll be nothing in those first few days. Maybe the end of that week I can hurry up and do some videos. So I'm hoping for that.
Cool.
Excellent. Should be a good time. Pretty up there.
Yeah, my wife and boy just spent the first half of last week up there, and they had such a good time. We were going to go to Virginia Beach, and my wife said she'd really like to go back up to Erie again. We used to go there all the time when we had a camper. I pulled the camper up there with the kids, and they had such a good time. I said, well, why not? So Holiday Inn, here we come. They stayed up there, and we just booked a room with the king-size bed, so we're going to go up there and stay at the Holiday Inn. Just like... relax, kick back and go to the beach and go to the water parks and stuff.
I've always said when you travel, you need to have a room with a big workbench.
And my boy hit the arcade up there at the water park when he was there. They had that, the newer, was it Galaxian, whatever, the kind that spits out tickets at you when you play the thing. That's what they all do now. So I'll have to give that a try. Even if my boy's not going to be able to make it, so hopefully I'll be able to sneak off to the arcade at least by myself and play a little bit while I'm up there. So.
Nice. At least give it a quick run through.
Yeah.
Win some prizes.
Well, Mike, what's going on? I guess it's time. Bart and I talked about our flying and our driving trucks, and just hadn't heard from Poe. Anything new in the works for you?
Well, no, I already talked about that, but there was something I wanted to share with you guys. It was a game.
Keep your pants up. Put it away.
No hot dogs, all right? Train simulation. For those of you that have a PlayStation 2, it was Densha Dego 3. And you can buy, it came with a controller. I remember watching someone play a video on that, and it was kind of cool. He had it hooked up, and he was playing Silent Hill with it, and you can actually use the train controller to move your character around. So I thought that was pretty funny. Then he tried other PlayStation 2 games. Like, nope, this doesn't work quite as good. But he said if you want to play Silent Hill, you got to use the train controller. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like it's got the little throttle to go forward and backwards on it, and there's like a button on it where it can change the tracks. So little cool thing, but it was from Japan though. That's the only thing, and I'm pretty sure if you buy the game, you're gonna have to read Japanese. So.
Hey, Mike,
looked interesting.
off topic here, but which system had the chainsaw controller for Resident Evil 4?
That was PlayStation.
Was it PlayStation 2 that did that one?
2, I think so. Yeah, I seen that controller. It was hard to use. A lot of
I would
people
imagine.
it's like, just use it as a prop. It's not really a good. Or
I got a
remember the
question.
slime controller for Dragon Quest? That big bulky slime you got to use to play the game. Yeah, you got to turn the slime over and play on his butt to move your character around and stuff. So yeah, weird stuff.
I got a really important question, Mike.
Sure.
If you use that train controller when you're playing the Silent Hill, right?
Yes.
If you push the train horn button, did the guy turn around and put his ass to the screen? And
I don't think so. I think he shoots his gun or something on it to fight the monsters. So all the controls on it actually do something for that character. So that was actually pretty funny watching that guy play. I forgot who it was, but he bought that controller and then he's like, well, this is kind of fun, but let's try a game you wouldn't use this on. He popped Silent Hill and he's like, oh, this is fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Use that controller to drive your character around. So yeah.
So you're playing these. You're talking about playing some of them on PlayStation 2, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a controller. It looks like a setup for a train, right? But you can use it on various games because the inputs work. I know some things work better than others, but I would never think a survival horror game would work on a train simulator controller. That was so weird for me watching that. But yeah,
I was just wondering if it looked as good as FX Pinball on a Switch.
Oh, it's PS2 graphics, so definitely better.
Yeah, it must be the Switch 2 version.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you what, the guy watches every day. I've got new evidence of the PlayStation 2. It's coming soon. It's coming in. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I'll end up buying all of the FX tables again.
Well, I'm bad for that. I ain't doing it. I bought it all. I buy it all again.
I've got them. Well, they honored the deal for me on the Switch, and they gave me all the ones that I'd bought up to a certain date. And they did that cutoff date. There was 2 groups that I didn't buy, but I went ahead and bought them. And then I realized I didn't have them all on my Epic, so I finally bought the Williams pack, which was on Williams 2 pack, which was on sale this week. And I figured out to $2 and an eighth of a cent a piece. I think it was something like this, some weird amount, but it was $2. You think about it, $2. You throw $2. These pinball. The restaurant that I go to got rid of their Walking Dead, and they got the new James Bond table, Dr. No.
Oh, cool.
But I got there the other day and I was having lunch with the fellas, and there was a line of people wanting to play. They only got the one machine there, so I'm going to try to sneak back up there and get up there to play.
I do have another game coming for the PS5. I don't really know much about it. I follow this guy named Wario64 on Twitter. I started following him because he would give heads up on when the PS5 was available back when it first came out. And I never got one through the guy, but he was good for heads up on stuff. If you could look at Twitter 24/7, the guy would give you heads up. But he lets you know when certain things are available, for different things, and he'll give you good deals on stuff. So I look at his stuff all the time. He had this game available for the PS5, and they describe it as a walking sim. So now anything that says sim, immediately the lights go off, thanks to you guys. Walking sim, it's just like, oh boy, walking sim. Well, my fat butt ain't walking anywhere. Might as well do a sim for it, right? But this game it was $10, $10.99. I think it's called Road 96. I don't know if that sounds familiar, or maybe Mike knows. Road something or other from Woot, and I've never used Woot. I think is it an offshoot from Amazon or something like that. I know you can use Amazon Prime through it in your Amazon account. So I do have that coming. Now, they're not as quick as Amazon, even though I used Amazon Prime through it for free shipping. It was supposed to be here Friday. Now it's saying Monday. So tomorrow, when this game comes and when I get a chance, I'll throw it in and play it. But it looks like it's maybe takes place sometime in the future, and you're working your way across America for whatever reason, maybe hitching your way. So we'll see what this game has to offer. $10. I figured, why not? So that will be an upcoming thing. I'll throw it in my PS5 and we'll see what's going on. Walking sim, who knows? But I guess it changes every time. Every time you play the game, it's a different experience. So maybe some pervert will pick me up, and we'll see what happens in the game.
Don't hitch your ride with Rambo.
You talk about ordering stuff from different places. I just ordered. I had this. They've been advertising a lot. That Tumo, what do they call it? That TV here. They giving away switches and stuff, but
they come up on my Facebook constantly. That company.
But the switch thing I heard was legit, but you had to be like the first one to sign in that day, and they only had so many. But I did order some Joy-Cons from them because they were $20 for 2 Joy-Cons, which are normally $80. They say they do everything the other ones do, motion control, all that. And they said that I had 30 days to return them, and they'd give you your money back. And they've gotten good reviews as far as giving your money back. So I went ahead and ordered some. Now, like you said, Bo, they're not going to be here for a couple of weeks, but I'm going to be curious because I got that 1-2 switch game, and Bart and I played it with our phones, but if you're playing locally, you're supposed to play them with Joy-Cons, not with controllers. So I thought, if I have a bunch of people over, we'll see if those will work, and at least that'd be out 4 people. I almost bought some regular ones for $80, but they said $20, and they had good reviews, so I'll be giving you guys an update on what those turned out like when I get them.
Yeah, I don't know what to think about that place because, like I said, they constantly show up on YouTube when I watch a video. They're always showing up on Facebook when I go on there, and they'll show something that looks totally awesome, right? And it'll show like normal price, $186 million, and a slash through it and say now $299. So that to me says Wish.com or something like that, So I'm not sure what to think.
It's similar to Wish. I've tried them all. There was Banggood. Then there was what was that other one after Banggood? I've got that app too. I'll tell you the neat thing is when I was flying the RSC stuff, the little radio-controlled electric motors. I bought some of those from Banggood. Those little son of a guns were screaming little motors.
Now, if you don't mind, how is PayPal an option to pay these people?
Yes. And I like that
now,
too.
If they didn't have that, I wouldn't do it. But if it has PayPal, it'd be something I would consider.
Yeah, PayPal's pretty secure because number one is they can't get a hold of they don't have your credit card numbers and crap like that. And number two is PayPal's pretty good toward the customer. If you write PayPal and said this place burned me, 90% of the time you'll get your money back.
Yes, I've gotten my money back from buying from companies themselves and, of course, through eBay purchases when people haven't sent me what they're supposed to. PayPal's always had me covered for that. So,
yeah. That's isn't that a Elon Musk company? PayPal.
It was.
PayPal?
It was. He invented PayPal.
Yeah, he started it.
Yeah, that's how he made his first money was PayPal.
Oh, was it? Yeah, I didn't know that.
And that spun off of eBay, didn't it? PayPal became the preferred payment method for eBay. So,
Yeah, he sold it. He sold it to PayPal and made millions, and then he invested every penny of that into Tesla and SpaceX and stuff. Yeah.
PayPal makes things a little too simple now. As Bart and I have talked about these different things that are coming up for the iArcade, now they have things where you can make it in 4 payments through PayPal instead of just paying outright through PayPal. I've done that with the Glenn's deck and certain other things too. Okay, I'll do it in the 4 payments, which every 2 weeks I think they take out the small chunk. It makes it kind of nice. You can line it up with your payday or whatever,
Nice. Yeah, I've never tried that. I always see it on there. Do you want to break it up? And I never have, but I probably should.
Yeah, it makes it nice for
usually
certain
I just use Mike's card anyway, so I
Right.
don't really when they take it out.
It's kind of course, I'm not nuts with it. I'm very sensible with it. But, I love to do my, especially during football season, I love to do my sports book, which is now legal here. Well, it's not actually legal here. It's legal in the next state, which is 5 minutes away, so I got to drive over there. But you can fund it with PayPal. But you can also take it and get it back in PayPal, and I did pretty good this year, so they even give you a PayPal savings account, so I just threw it all in there waiting for next football season. So I got it. This football season's free.
Nice.
That's going to be fun.
Gambling and the marijuanas in all these states now. We're going to hell. Get your Bible out and start praying, Gregory.
Well, the funny thing about that is Missouri has legal weed. Kansas doesn't. Kansas has gambling. Missouri doesn't. So they threw up a little meme. It shows a guy driving from Missouri to Kansas with his weed, and it shows a driving back from Kansas to Missouri with his betting slip. So they're passing each other on the road. If the states would be smart, they're all worried that stuff's happening. Just set up toll booths. They don't need cops to watch that. Just set up toll booths. Make a fortune.
Right.
Thank goodness bum sex is still illegal everywhere. Oh, my goodness. All right, I didn't say that. I was tempted.
Well, guys,
yeah, let's finish it after that. Let's just end it.
Well, I'm just trying to keep it going good, but we've been on an hour and 17 minutes, and I can say I can stay all night, but I'd like to kind of keep for the replay people that want to watch them. So if anybody's got anything, Bart, I'm going to pass it to you real quick and say, kind of as the co-host here, and see if is it time to go to final thoughts, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've all pretty much said what we got to say, unless you guys got anything else. But I've said all I had to say.
Ooh.
We got Stretch Armstrong out on the strawberry shortcake. I mean, where else do you go after that? I mean,
I've been waiting for that game.
Well, I got one thing I want to bring up, but I'm going to save it for my final. I'm going to save that for my final thoughts. So I think since Poe's showing off his gadgets down there, I think I'll throw the final thoughts down to Poe first. We'll start at the Circle Makes a Square or whatever down there in Hollywood Squares. Poe, what do you got? Any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'll get around to that. I got to do strawberry shortcake for Mike. I know he's waiting for it. So we're going to get strawberry shortcake video out to you real soon. And that's it. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Popeye's coming real soon. I promise. We'll get it out to you. And watch Bart, because that trucking stuff is awesome. Watch G.Parker flying. He's flying good now, guys. He's landing great now. Nice and smooth, and the scenery is awesome. And definitely Gaming Road Warrior over here is freaking hilarious. He got a sticky bed. The comedy freaking hilarious. So
Good stuff. Mike, what do you got?
Like I said earlier, after I get done with helping my godfather out, I have the I'll be covering like 5 games on Steam, and I also found a simulator game that I'm going to be playing and showing off to you guys here later. I got to test it to make sure it doesn't have a lot of bugs like my toilet, the Great Toilet Simulator, or who knows, I might do another toilet game. Those seem to be cheap to buy and kind of fun to experiment. Why not, But yeah, that's all I got.
All right. Bart?
yeah, I just want to say I too am looking forward to Poe's strawberry shortcake video. And little spoiler alert, Poe, he put that strawberry shortcake up there with the Stretch Armstrong, because that's the same outfit Poe's going to be wearing when he plays it. So if you're looking for that, coming to a YouTube channel near you.
You gotta be 18 or
Yeah.
over.
Yeah, same like Bo said. I'm looking forward to watching these videos coming out. Anxiously waiting for this Popeye series to continue. Always looking forward to Mike's stuff because he makes all of our stuff look like a 10-year-old kindergarten program or something. I don't know.
Oh
But
yeah,
actually,
this stuff's good
the
too.
Sims and
You
the
guys'
flying and
stuff's
the
good,
driving and Greg's flights are fun to watch. So I'm just driving and flying and playing some pinball on Saturdays. So that's about all I'm doing.
Well, let me just say the pinball videos are great. While I'm taking my final thoughts, one thing I wanted to say is be sure to check out Digital Victory. Hadn't been around for a while to be able to be on since we changed our time slot. And I keep forgetting to send him the invites like so I did today. But watch his channel because he's got, if you're a pinball person, that's why you're here. He's got some great stuff. He came out with some new stuff recently, some good reviews and stuff. Going back to, I want to thank our friends from across the pond there that showed up tonight from the Netherlands. Am I saying that right? They came from the
Netherlands, yeah.
And, we also have Snoochie Brucey's brother Savage that comes in every now and then. I didn't see him tonight, but and that's something I was going to say to Derek. Derek, people need to check out our Discord. And Derek, you might want to consider. We've got all those little segmented segments on our whatever on the Discord. Maybe we need one for trucking simulators because it seemed like we've got some interest in trucking simulators. Maybe we need to add that category. That's what I was looking for to our Discord.
If they had a good one on the PS5, I'd play it, but I haven't seen anything that's anywhere near as good as what Bart does. I've looked them up, and yeah, they don't have anything that looks anywhere near that nice on the PS5.
Well, I bought that piece of shit you told me about for the Switch, Poe, and Poe got me all excited. Truck simulator on the Switch.
That was a short video too.
I just ran it into a bridge. I said, "That's it. I'm running it into a bridge."
I did let you know about Dredge before I let anybody else know about that. Now that was a diamond in the rough.
I know,
That was awesome.
That is a good one.
I love that game.
But I'm so far behind on stuff. I'm on episode 4 of The Walking Dead. I've completely abandoned my Metroid stuff. I got to get that back out. And then my my Mario Kingdom battle with the what do they call it, little rabbits.
Oh yeah.
Completely put that down. Of course, I've had company in town. My kids came to town with the grandkids, but maybe everybody will get out of my house and I can play some games.
I'll tell you what, it is rough. You try to get your videos out, and next thing you know, the weekend is here, and I want to try to get something out for this show. And I'm like, what happened? The whole week is gone.
Yeah.
And next thing I know, it's Saturday night, and then Sunday, forget about it. Sunday, when I get up, the whole day is gone like that, and it's time to get out here and get ready for the show,
Yep.
And my wife even forgot. I ran down to the gas station real quick and came back, and she said something, and I'm like, it's time for the show. And she's like, what? And I'm like, it's Sunday. It's almost 7 o'clock. It's time for the show. Everybody forgot,
I know.
It's Sunday night, baby. It's time to go.
Well, I know I'm supposed to give final thoughts on dragging out, but I got another techie piece of information that's going to be cool for me and VR. So it kind of applies. I'm going to go here in the next month or two have cataract surgery. That's what happens when you get old. You need cataract surgery. Well, the cool thing is, you want to hear something techie? You guys aren't going to believe me, so look it up and you'll see that I'm true. I'm going to get cataract surgery, and they're going to put lenses in my eyes that correct my vision. Now, they've had that for a while, where it'll make it so I don't need glasses. But then what happens is eventually you get older and your eyes get weaker, and you'll eventually need glasses again, right? No. I'm getting these that when you get them and your eyes get worse, you stick your head in that thing like, at the optometrist where you stick your head in there, and they look at your eyes and examine them. They don't have to knock you out or anything. It takes a few seconds. They put this thing up to your eye with this barcode light thing that they shine in there, and they change your prescription.
Wow.
And how this relates to VR is that's another thing I hate. And I know Kelly got prescription things for her lenses for her VR, which I didn't. And I've always had, when I take that thing on and off, the glasses drag off with it. They work fine until I take it on and off. So I just can't wait to report to you when I get this done. I think I'm supposed to have it done in September. But that's going to be pretty doggone cool that I can put on that VR headset. And what kind of that's bionic crap. I mean, the bionic.
That's nice.
Stick your head in there.
Now, Greg, will you be able to see through poodle skirts and see panties and stuff?
I had lunch with my older son the other day, my middle son, not the unknown gamer. But I was telling him about it. He asked the same thing, the little pervert. He says, can you see through stuff? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I can't. Oh, that's so cool, Dad.
Remember that? Remember that in the comic books? They always had the glasses man. And the dude was like, he was looking through his hand. And he could see like the bones through it. And then when I was a kid reading Spider-Man comics, I'd flip to the back and look at that. I'm like, man, I'm going to see so many panties with those things. I'm going to send away for this thing. Man, my mom never let me send away for it. I tried to send away for, you always had like army men, right? The little green army men that you could buy in the stores. Well, in the back of these comics, they had Navy guys you could send away for. You never saw those in the stores. And I wanted those because my dad was in the Navy. I was proud of that. I wanted Navy guys. And my mom would not write the check to send away for these things. So I snuck, and stupid kid, I grabbed all my change and put it in the envelope. The envelope had to have weighed 500 pounds. And she went to this grocery store, and I snuck to the mailbox, and I threw this whole thing in the freaking mailbox. And, of course, I never got the Navy guys. I don't know who has my envelope full of change back in 1980 or 1979, whenever this was. But I want my money back. I don't know who has it. Maybe it's still sitting on the bottom of that mailbox.
But I just thought that was cool. I had to share that. But that's all I got, guys. That's all I got. Now, anybody else watching out there, the thousands of people, if you know where Post Change is, please send it.
I want my money back.
To G.Parkers.
I think there were some wheat pennies in there too, man.
Send any money that's due any of these guys to my address. I'll make sure they get it.
Yeah, don't forget the merch, the shower curtains facing you when you go take a shower. You can get a Mr. Postel or a G.Parker looking at you when you're showering.
Yeah. And he's got the hot pink lettering on his.
Damn tootin'. I ordered red. It looks red here. Maybe I need to get that surgery. Maybe that's why it looks red. I don't know.
You'll have to get a new banner made then. You won't have your glasses on.
That's true. I'll have to do it. God, I don't know.
That's made by Off-Grid Arcade.
Ooh, that is fancy. That's a 3D print job. I like that. I want one.
Here's a job.
Oh yeah.
The Joy-Con beer holder.
That's for Milwaukee.
You use that as a cup holder. It's like Voltron. They go together. They do something. I don't know.
Probably my favorite 3D prints are these.
Yeah, that's cool.
And the switch just fits right down in there. Switch fits right down in there.
Nice.
But I robbed the buttons from it to use to make my flight thing. So. There you go. Another project undone. Everybody, have a good night. Sunday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. We're here. Don't forget to check out our Discord and all kinds of other fun stuff. Join in the tournament. We'll see you next Sunday night. If I can find the
1
way
a.m.
out.
Netherlands time.
Yeah. Thanks to all the people that showed up, too. Good job. We'll see you all next time.
Thanks, everyone. See you next week.
See you next week.
I got to find the outro.
I'm pretty tired. Think I'll go home now.